Hey, gods and goddesses, let's talk about the fascinating transit we have coming up, Uranus in Gemini. Uranus is going to be transiting all of our natal charts, and I'm going to be going over which natal position Uranus will be going through in your sky. So when we talk about Uranus in Gemini, let's talk about Uranus first. Uranus is that planet of change, spontaneity, a rebellion. It is that planet of iteration. When we think about Uranus, I want you to think future. I want you to think future thoughts, and I want you to also think sudden change, innovation, taking time to do things, but also getting things done. Uranus is that planet that wants to bring this enlightenment to society, or this enlightenment to certain ideas, to certain developments. Uranus is a developing planet. And when we put Uranus in Gemini, we're talking about the sign of Gemini, or the energy of Gemini. This is someone who is, or I like to say someone, because we're all someone, and we all have the Gemini energy within our charts. But Gemini energy is that place where we can find our communication. We can find those thought forms. We can find us developing on our speeches, our thought processes, our skills. Gemini is the hands. It is us developing our skills through the way that we express ourselves, the way that we speak, public speaking. And then putting these two energies together, Uranus and Gemini, we're going to get this fresh sense of newness, outdated paradigms that no longer make any sense, outdated thought forms that no longer make any sense. They didn't make sense from the beginning, but when Uranus, comes into Gemini, you're really going to be able to think about how they do not make sense. And this is really a significant, period of change, of up leveling. Uranus stays in a sign for 7 years. It's going to dip into Gemini in the year 2025 in July, and then it's going to dip out in November, go back in 2026 for the remainder of 6 years, all the way into May 2023. So this is a really long transit, but I do think that Uranus brings this sudden change. You will feel as this transit is gradually moving out of Taurus, you will feel this newness. It's, in my opinion, we are technology, and the way that we think, it's so fast. You know what I'm saying, and we're able to catch thoughts and things of that nature. And so as Gemini is moving into as Uranus is moving into Gemini, we collectively feel our thoughts like coming to us. We're able to catch them, write them down. We're able to make these significant, leaps in quantum thinking, because we talk about Uranus, that is a quantum realm. Gemini is quantum as well, because we are exploring these unconventional ideas. You're exploring these, social interactions. When we're putting Uranus in Gemini, this is going to be a period that you must embrace new ways of thinking, new ways of communicating, new ways of being, and new ways of speaking. Freeing yourself from these outdated, paradigms, these outdated belief systems, most importantly, these outdated mental processes that you have been involved in. It's now time for you to connect yourself to a more enlightened society, to a more enlightened thought processing. When we see Uranus in Gemini, we can also see these profound, ultimately leading to these profound shifts in the way that we perceive communication, or the way that we perceive our interaction with the world, or the world around us, because Gemini is the world around us, as well as your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, your immediate environment. The conversations that you have with them, they go through this much needed transformation, and it's up to you to adapt to the changes, these sudden changes that come, because they're going to lead to these really great profound shifts. But as I said, because Uranus likes to interrupt these traditional ways of, or these traditional patterns, Uranus will get us to see collectively these new perspectives, these new developments on technology, because Uranus is technology. It is a powerful force by itself, but we know that technology is very powerful. We understand that science, because Uranus is science as well, it's very important, like it's very useful, let's just say that, in developing on society and things of that nature. And then when we look at Uranus being in astrology, we're looking at it bringing us, well, when we say Uranus, because it's this planet of sudden change, in Gemini, it's bringing us these sudden shift in our thinking that we must adapt to. It's like we suddenly shift to think outside of the box, and that more works better for us. It's like we're shifting our perspectives to work well and better for us as a collective. There are breakthroughs that happen with Gemini and Uranus and Gemini. These are not all good things. Let's just say that, because when we're talking about developing on technology, there are certain things as robots, right? We see robots coming into play. We see us not being, when we talk about Uranus and being in Gemini, we're not, having handheld phones will no longer be a thing. Now everything becomes based off of technology, based off of words, based off of speaking. And, Gemini is a very curious sign. It'll do anything. It'll adapt to a lot of things. It is, as long as it's learning, advancing, it will, it'll be in that interaction, right? And so we have to think about Gemini's being the communicator and Uranus being the projector or the distributor, right? Uranus is unpredictable. The energy in Uranus is electricity. Excuse me, it's electricity, it's electrified thoughts, breaking free from limitations, breaking free from things that don't serve you, and start exploring like these territories or these uncharted territories or these limiting lands, or people say that we can't go to these lands, just exploring those outdated, ways of people thinking we can't do this but we really can, and start thinking more for yourself. See Uranus and Gemini, because it's so much mental stimulation, because Gemini is mental stimulation. Electricity is, as I said, electricity is very fast and moves, at the speed of light, right? And so just thinking, at the end of this transit, there are going to be so many profound shifts in the ways of thinking that we no longer will be like, if you do not want to think for yourself, like, this is a time to think for yourself, okay? Because we can see because Gemini has two signs. This is not all good. This is great to develop on humanity and to develop on the minds of the people, and to develop science. But it's not good to invent things that are ultimately going to hurt us at the end of the day, ultimately going to take the real technology out of the people. The real intelligence is with the people, right? But when we see Uranus in Gemini, it's so much mental stimulation that you would want someone else to think for you. Well, when you have to, with this energy, because Gemini is fast, talking fast, right? And Uranus is fast. You have to really harness on being okay with thinking outside of the box, being okay with having 5 million different thoughts, yes, but also being okay with honing into that one thought that's best for everyone, that can shift the perspective for everyone. Uranus and Gemini is not going to be an easy transit, but I really think it's going to be very fascinating to see how we develop as individuals, as the original technology, but also how technology develops, right? And we know that there's going to be a theme on intellectual breakthroughs, right? There's going to be a theme on social change, the way that we interact with each other, through the internet. That's going to change as well. Duality, adaptability, it's going to be changed. Being curious to learn again, to know more, right? Being curious about information. As I said, these are things that we would have to adjust to very quickly. It's almost like you don't even get a chance to agree with. It's just something that you agree with. That's why it's very important for you to hone in on your own mind, right? Gemini, Uranus and Gemini will bring up a theme of communication, innovation, these revolutionary changes with communication. Like, is it really freedom of speech? We'll see. Is it really freedom of speech, or is it only freedom of speech for those who are not, actually of our consciousness? You know what I'm saying? Is it only freedom of speech for things that are made and based through technology? We'll see. We'll see. Definitely use this time to think more about diversity, think more about the freedom of your expression, advocating for the freedom of your expression, and advocating for the freedom of thought. That here is like literally Uranus and Gemini, the freedom of thought. That is key. That is theme. And so I'm gonna go by house systems, and we're going to see what I'm going to go by house systems. I'm going to go by each house, each natal position, through the houses, and see how the Uranus and Gemini will be affecting you. And know that as soon as Uranus goes into Gemini for good in the year 2026, that's when you get this fresh, this sense of newness, new stimulation in the mind, new innovation, like new ways to reach your goals, new ways to invent yourself, new ways to achieve success, new purposes, like new, there's just this fresh newness. Okay. And so I just want to make that clear because it really starts in the year 2026. You'll see a preview in the year 2025. You're like, do we really have a freedom of speech? But in the year 2026, you'll see, yes, I do. I have to think outside of the box. And so let's get started. Aries, Uranus and Gemini is going to be transiting through your natal third house. And when Uranus transits through the third house, this is going to bring a change in your communication style, your thought process. Your mental stimulation is going to be through the roof with fresh new ideas, fresh new skills, fresh new ways of being, new ways of thinking. You know, this is like you just like reassessing the way that you speak. But on the flip side, you have to be careful that the way that you speak doesn't become so rebellion to the fact where you're putting other people down because of this newfound rebellion that you have within your communication. Okay, that's the flip part. You know, it's like, yes, you need to practice what you preach, you need to say what you need to say, and I feel like you're gonna find yourself in new these new ways of like communicating, these new ways of learning and finding education, you know, and these unconventional methods of accessing information or accessing people through like social media or dreams and thought forms and things of that nature, or science, and just developing on these ideas. And I feel like your communication style is gonna change. The way that you are, you know, presenting information changes. Like your whole landscape to your mental capability shifts. It grows even bigger. Like it expands. You know, Jupiter being in Gemini, obviously, but Uranus going in there. It's almost like these ideas are gold. These ideas will bring you gold because they're ideas that like they really challenge your intellectual horizons. Like they really challenge your mind to change your mind quickly, if that makes sense. It's almost like these ideas come to you so suddenly, you know, you must write them down, you know, you must do something with them, but you don't know that they're going to change your life, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to adapt quickly to this new idea, but this new idea is what shifts everything for you. Aries, and you have to be very mindful of this time. Uranus is a planet that can bring like sudden change very quick, and it's not always, you have to really, you know, look at uh the degree, and you have to look at what other placements, natal placements sit inside of your third house, what's opposing it, and all of these different things. But you know, Uranus going to the third house, you're automatically someone who has something to say. You know what I'm saying? You have something to say, you have something to really speak about. The way that you are, you know, developing, you know, your speech is almost it's very magnificent, but you will also want to make sure that you're not putting down others in your communication style. Okay, and being able to adapt very quickly to these information. It's like you are a sponge for information goes in and out. Like seriously, hit up Aries or Gemini if you want true AI information. That's all I have for you, Aries. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. If you find this video useful, please try to send it to someone else, and maybe it can help them as well, and they might find it useful. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey Taurus, Uranus will be transiting through your natal second house. And so Uranus and Gemini, these are new ways to make money. And this can be online, this can be, you know, through your communication style, but I really do feel like it's definitely going to come from some type of technology, and it's going to be on skills that you develop on, because the second house is the skills that we have, but Gemini is the skills that we develop on. So you're going to have to develop on these skills, develop on your values, your personal values, your self-worth, and your financial situation can change suddenly. It can grow very quickly, very fast, or it can go down very fast. You can have fluctuations and, up and downs when it comes to the way that you make money. It really all depends on the way that you choose to speak about yourself. You have to do your affirmations. I will say that this next 7 years, Taurus, do your money affirmations, please. Do your self-worth affirmations and tell yourself, I am worthy of this. I'm worthy of all. I deserve this. And, not I deserve this. Let me say this again. I am worthy of all. I am value. I truly value myself. I love myself. Be very intentional with the words that you use, Taurus, because you want to truly, like, this is a time to reassess what truly values you, like what is valuable to you, what aligns with how you feel about yourself, what aligns to, feeling financially secure, what aligns to the experiences that you're in, what aligns to like having new sources of income. You have to figure out what truly matters to you, Taurus, and you will. And definitely embrace the flexibility that Uranus and Gemini will have for you. And I will say, Gemini, I will say, Taurus, like, if you're doing anything at home, please bring it to the internet. Bring it to the internet now, please, because this is a time where, like, the things that you say, Taurus, the things that you do, and the skills that you have can make you income. Please do that, and when we're working with the Gemini energy, it's very important for us to be as adaptable as we can, right? As flexible as we can. And especially when it comes to managing your resources, embracing flexibility, embracing individuality, and embracing like innovation to help manage your resources. Like, you literally have to embrace your own values to help your resources. Taurus, like, that's really important for you guys. And that's all that I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you found that useful and helpful, please send it to someone else that can find it useful and helpful as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey Gemini, so you are the star of the show with Uranus in your first house. Uranus is going to be transiting through your natal first house to Gemini. It's very important that you see what other placements you have. Yeah, and so let's get started. So Gemini, this is going to be happening in your natal first house. And so this is the house of the body, and Gemini is ruling over our lungs, our hands, our throat, and well, and even our breath. So when we're talking about Gemini, because it's in speaking and things of that nature, we're talking about the first house. You have to be very careful of the things that you say about yourself, the things that you do about yourself, things that you do with yourself, and most importantly, you have to break out of those old identities that do not sit right in the body, for the body, and like, it is not right for the body. You know what I'm saying? You have to find this sense of self. And I feel like when Uranus is transiting through the first house, it will bring you this radical sense of self, this fresh way of thinking, this new way to present yourself to the world, new way to look at yourself. You can just feel like, I just want to break free from these old identities, and you want to look different. You want to feel different. You want to feel electrified. You can change your whole style during this time, even your hair you want to change during this time. When Uranus in the first house, I will say that, this can bring sudden, like, how can I say this, like, because the brain is like electricity. It's like, the more that we think we're constantly using our brain, and and our hair is in the first house. It's just important for you to, like, don't sleep with a lot of electronic around you. Like, that can make your hair fall out, if that makes sense to you. Like, sleeping with like phones and Wi-Fi all around you, like, no, these are the type of things that can make your hair fall out. It's important for you have the technology within your body. Like, Gemini is the real technology right now, the real AI. They are the ones that has true information. And so you have to be mindful that that you're the true technology, and that if you like working on music, if you work with technology, like, for work, you don't want to sleep with it next to you. Like, put it away from you, put it out the room. Okay. And then, but Uranus in the first house, this can also bring a sense of uniqueness about the person. That person doesn't look like, Gemini, you're not going to look like the next person. Like, you're going to look at your own individual makeup, and you can even try with different styles, different. It's like you're intentionally not trying to look like the next person. Like you're embracing your uniqueness. Like, hey, if I have yellow hair or if I have white hair, like you're embracing the white hair now. Like, it's just about embracing the change or changes or the sudden change that comes to you developing or ascending as a person. This is a time for like a personal like reinvention, I do think. And I will say, you will like invent yourself in the way that you talk every day. If you're someone who says, oh, I love, like me, oh, I love astrology, or I love technology, or I love this, or I love this, like dress as this, dress like this. I love Naruto, dressed as a Naruto. Like, you don't have to go outside doing it. You can do whatever you like to do, but just start like in integrating these characters inside of your body, okay? Because that's what Uranus is here for. It's like new freshness, but it also gives you like this sense of power. It's like you're boosted up, electrified. But it can make you also as tired too if you're sleeping around a lot of electricity. Okay, and don't sleep around a lot of electricity when this is going on. Turn off everything. Turn off your phone, turn off the Wi-Fi. Even if you don't sleep by the Wi-Fi, turn off the Wi-Fi. Try to spend time like in nature, away from technology. It's like you're absorbing the technology toward Gemini, and it's now like information inside of your body, and it's now going up into stored up into your head, because the first house is a house of self. It's a house of the body. This is really like the most important house, or like the most if anything is in this house, it affects the whole chart. Okay, so yes, that's all I have for you, Gemini. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys in the next video. If that was useful, please send it to someone else that you think may find it useful. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys. Bye. Hey Cancer, so you're going to be having Uranus and Gemini transiting through your natal 12th house. And so the 12th house is my favorite house, but this is a house that we talk about the psyche and behind the scenes and the subconscious mind. And also our self undoing tendencies, self-sacrifice. This is a house of healing, right? And so when we have Uranus transiting through this house, I always say that this house is the house of like the intangible, because it's Pisces house. It's something that happens internally, like in your inner world, that other people will only see reflected out of you through like your aura, through your essence, through your newfound self. And that's exactly what's going on. You're going on a journey with your inside world, your inside technology. And what I mean by technology, like your genes, what are you made up of? You're taking this journey inward to your own like coding. You know what I'm saying? Cancer, it's like your own coding. We know that we have genetic codes. We know that we have like codes that unlock certain programming, codes that unlock like happiness. We know that these are codes for like spiritual growth and codes for healing, and those are the codes that you're looking to get, Cancer. And also we have Uranus in the 12th. There are a lot of sudden insights, a lot of spiritual awakenings, a lot of seeing the subconscious patterns. Like it just comes to the mind as something that has to be addressed. This is really a time for deep healing, spiritual growth. There are hidden realms within our subconscious mind or within our psyche that we're not always aware of, and Uranus will bring this up with Gemini. It's like you will have these conversations with yourself and inside of your head. They're really transformative. They transform the inner stimulation, or like the inner technology that you have talking back and forth to each other. When I say technology, I mean like the things that we say and the things that we pick up off. Like these are conversations that we keep on having, things that we watch on the TV, and all of these things, they're still like in our heads. They're recorded in our heads. It's like, that's why you don't watch scary movies, because it's still buried up in your subconscious. Like you're literally having these talks with your subconscious mind, and they are electrified. They're like, here you go, here is here's the science behind this, here's the science behind this. And your subconscious mind shifts a lot during this transit, Cancer, and it's for the better. It's like having these conversations with yourself bring you closer to yourself, because your inner world, experiences a lot of profound change and like uplifting and understanding. Through conversation, Cancer, you're gonna find like a lot of understanding and deep healing. And so that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. If you found this video useful, if you can please send it to someone else, they may find it useful as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey Leo, you have Uranus in Gemini transiting your natal 11th house. And so when we see Uranus in the 11th, this transit is going to bring up these social interactions, because this is Uranus's house, the house of innovation, the house of change, the house of the collective consciousness of our dreams, our goals and wishes. And this is a lot of focus on the area. It's like, what can you do for the world, Leo? It's like you have to link up your own aspirations to what the world needs from you. And this is only going to come by talking to other people, by revolutionizing your social networks, by revolutionizing your goals, your long-term goals, like whatever type of association that you have, whether it's around you, because we're talking about Gemini, we're talking about our immediate environment, like your brothers and sisters. Like when you really start talking about, Leo, like what is wrong with the world, what needs to change, you're gonna meet like unusual people, unusual friends. You're gonna meet people that are like-minded, but still they're unusual, but they become, like it becomes like this movement, if that makes sense, because it's like there is progression when it comes to being around like-minded people, because this is Uranus house. Things come together a little bit more better, like for like contributing to the collective, you know what I'm saying? Because this is Uranus's house, do connecting in conversations with other people, do talking about different silences, do challenging different mindsets. This is when you're really gonna feel like you're contributing to the collective. This is when you're really gonna be trying to like invoke change. When you start pursuing what needs to be pursued before humanity, for the world, when you start speaking on those things, like literally, like fearlessly, not even like aggressively, but fearlessly, with a purpose. You're saying things, you're pursuing these like inspirations. Is really important. Okay. And so this is the time when you really do have to embrace your individuality, but through group settings. Okay, Leo, like you are an individual, we understand this. And what's funny is, Aquarius is the opposite one, so Leo will definitely feel as though like, I don't know about this too much, I gotta be the one that's shining. But listen, you are the one that's shining, because it takes a village, and it takes the collective to come together in order to change the consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And not even coming together. It takes the spark of conversation, the spark of being fearless. Like somebody has to do it. Somebody has to say it. Leo, it might as well be you, right? Uranus in this house can also like invoke like freedom of speech. Like speech is free. We should be able to say what we want, do what we want. No, do what we want, say what we want. Yes. And definitely, Uranus at a place of righteousness, at a place of doing things that are right and that are just. But as I said, this comes with being spontaneous and doing and thinking outside of the box. And so, yeah, that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Leo. Hey, Virgo. So, Virgo, Uranus and Gemini is going to be transiting your natal 10th house. And when Uranus is occupying the 10th house, we're going to see, or you're going to experience, a sudden change in your like career path. Like maybe you want to change jobs now. It's like it's not giving you what you thought that it would give you, which is a sense of curiosity and enlightenment. It is not boosting you, mentally. You're going to start to see that maybe you want to have different opportunities or different careers. You want to experience these, you want to experience a professional life. So of course, yeah, we all have a career path, but it's like you want to pursue the ones that are unconventional, because the 10th house is a house of public image. It is the house of career, respect, and authority. in this world, this is truly where everyone can see you, Virgo. So if you have something to say, the time would be when Uranus is in Gemini. But also, you want, when you're speaking from Uranus and Gemini, because this is, say, freedom of speech, freedom of thought, right? Freedom of speech. You always want to make sure that you're speaking, because you're Virgo, from a place of healing. You're speaking from a place of intention, uplifting. It has to be a purpose, it cannot just be a statement, but no solution. When you speak Virgo, it has to be something like purposeful, that. And so, thinking about the 10th house, this is going to be a time where you're embracing like this uniqueness about yourself, or your approach, or you're embracing some type of science, some type of innovation, or some type of idea. Like, you're just embracing these new philosophies, these new perspectives, and it's leading you to spiritual enlightenment, but self-growth, self-enlightenment, career growth, meeting the right people. You know what I'm saying? And so this is you just redefining your sense of purpose and success. What does it actually mean to you? And as I always like to say, like, success is not what you do, it's liking what you do and liking how you do it. It is not even what you do. People can have career paths where they're just sitting down, um, like, I don't know, combing someone's hair. Like, they can have a career path just jumping up and down. Like, people have career paths doing what they decide to do, but it's all about what you inspire to do, right? It's thinking outside of the box. And for you, Virgo, it's thinking outside of the box for these next couple of years that's going to bring in those right people, right places. And you will change jobs. I'm telling you, for some Virgos will experience like sudden job changes, but some will experience like sudden raises, sudden new ideas coming out, or sudden new advancements where now they're a part of a different team. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's all I have for you, Virgo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Virgo. Hey, Libra. Libra, you have Uranus and Gemini transiting your natal ninth house. Okay. So Uranus in Gemini in the ninth house, Libra, this is going to bring you a change to like your belief systems, to your approach to life, like your horizons, the way that you think about your life and its perspective, even religion, even like traveling, like cultures, like just this higher learning, even if you're in school or something like that, something about it changes to where you want to learn something different, something about science, even, something about innovation, technology, through voice. These are the type of people that you can see like trying to develop on uh, new ways to communicate with technology. These are people that are embracing new philosophies. They're embracing this new sense of enlightenment about the thoughts, about the thought process. This is really going to broaden your perspective when it comes to exploration, exploring the mind, exploring cultures. This is not a time where you're going to be like this one track mind. You're definitely going to be curious. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have like this strong urge to travel, this strong urge to explore, this strong urge to see. It's definitely when it comes to like pursuing higher education. Like, maybe, like I said, you want to go back to school for science. You want to go back to school to invent something. You know what I'm saying? You and your higher self can be inventing something. You could go on this journey where it's so profound that it changes the way that you think, but um it changes the way that you think, but you have to be curious about it. When I say, because we're talking about the ninth house, we're talking about Uranus, we're talking about things suddenly like changing back and forth, but the ninth house is our belief system. It's best to explore the belief systems, right? But it's always best to believe in ourselves. Okay. And so you will have so many ideas and so many like insights into all these different cultures and religion that you'll just think that it's all one, right? You're like, it's just all one religion. But it's important for you to study one and like become immersed in one. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually like develop on one, because the ninth house is the house of like all good things, but it's like also the house of learning. So like learn from these gurus, learn from, you know, these higher teachers, you know what I'm saying? Be curious in that way. And yeah. And also when we see Uranus going through the ninth house, these individuals, like, you will not be thinking the same way that you're thinking right now. You will not be still thinking that way. You'll not be still talking that way. Your whole philosophies on life will change. And, you know, Libra, this is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll really start to see this significant growth within yourself, but within like your own teachers and teachings and your own wisdom, and like how you've applied like life's lessons to your life. But through you need to go over the mental. You know, what's important right now is a mental stimulation. And because this is Sagittarius, this house, and Gemini is, you know, your sister sign, they understand, you know, information. But you know, Gemini understands information. Sagittarius, this house, understands wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom through the journey of life, through exploration, through just knowing, through meditation from God and guru. And then, you know, Gemini is like information, what you accumulate, what you learn by being curious. So this is going to be a really fun time for you. I do think, Libra, you're going to want to stick to one type of belief system or one type of perspective. And it's going to work well for you. Like just pursuing higher education, do that. And if you are, you know, someone who's in school or going to school, definitely try to look into areas of technology or even communication. And I will say the development on technology is I'm talking about the development on humanity, because we are the true AI and true technology. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have for you, Libra. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. If you found this video useful or helpful, please try to send it to someone else that may also find it useful and helpful, and I'll see you guys. Bye. Hey Scorpio, so Scorpio, you have Uranus and Gemini transiting your natal 8th house, which is the house of who? You, Scorpio. Okay, and so when we talk about Uranus going through your house, but it's in Gemini, I want you to think deeply, you know, Scorpio, because Uranus is going to trigger a lot of deep um, transformations in your life. And the ones that you had to go through, like psychologically, the ones that you have to go through emotionally, mentally, like all of these thought forms and patterns, you know, that have existed in your programming. You know what I'm saying? It's going to trigger it, and it's going to get you to go over these transformations that you thought that you have that you really didn't have. You got to have them now, you know. And I think that Uranus is bringing the sense of like new and freshness to almost where it's like these transformations come with this level of like intelligence now. Not so much like these emotional burdens, like, oh, this hurts. What they say hurts to me, you know, with this conversation. I think it's more like I've developed this individuality. I've developed my own like thought forms, my own psychology, to the point where I'm confident in that, you know. And so it's like whatever you're not confident in, it's gonna bring to light, Scorpio. You have to really pay attention to that. And then Uranus also, when we see Uranus turns in the 8th house, we can see also it bringing a focus to like your shared resources, your finances, your intimacy can have this new sense of spark, you know, new sense of conversation. And you're able to talk about things that you were never able to talk about before. You're able to see things that you're not able to see before, you know what I'm saying? um Also, it can bring sudden changes in your shared resources with the person, you know what I'm saying? Almost like the things that they have been saying, what have they been saying? Because your mind will change very deeply when it comes to processing information. It's like you're not, Scorpio's not doing that thing where it's like holding on to it and it's rethinking about vendettas and using its energy to get back at you. It's now using its energy to level up and become the phoenix, and to like level up their own mental systems. Because when you level up your own mental systems, what happens, Scorpio, everything increases. Your finances, you as a person, the things that you know, right, increases. Your own, like, mind becomes more at peace and more at ease. Okay. And then also when we have the Uranus transiting the eighth, this can bring up certain inheritances from family members, sudden changes when it comes to those type of things, sudden changes in, like, uh, just financial partnerships. Um, this is all really based on, like, your ability to communicate, your ability to not be stubborn, your eccentricness. This is really going to be a time for you, Scorpio, where it's like you're embracing these changes with, as I said, more of an understanding and more of like a fresh way to look at it, or fresh way to think about it. It doesn't think like the things that you've thought that has caused hurt and pain. It doesn't think like, it doesn't hurt to think of them anymore. It's like it just doesn't hurt that way anymore. Like, even these intense experiences that you have had, or like these transformations that you have had to go through in the past, it's almost like after this transit, none of it even hurts anymore. It was so intense, yes, but only to, like, invoke these well, not only to invoke, only to get you to embrace these really profound, like, personal transformation and personal growth that has to have within your mind. You must still be curious, you know you have to still be curious, Scorpio, when it comes to learning, because this is your house. It's like it's getting you to now rethink, hey, come back to me, come back to the darkness, come back to the darkness. And not even the darkness, I mean, Scorpio, what I'm saying, the eighth house is the house of the unseen, the house of the unknown. It's like having more curiosity about the unknown. Ask questions about that, talk about that, put your mind around the possibilities of that, instead of putting your mind around the like experiences that have caused you to limit your own belief, or to limit your own mind into, like, ooh, that hurt, I'm not going to do that again. And you won't even go through it in your mind to rearrange it. And you have to do that. And Scorpio has done that many times in their life. But with this transit in Gemini, it's like you have this fresh new start, to where you're like, hey, what can you make out of it now? Can you make something out of it? Can you become more powerful because of it? Can you speak about it as a revolution, and not as something that causes you pain and strife? Okay. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of deep transformations coming into your life, but really great ones. I will say, really great ones that get you to have really intense experiences. But um, I feel like your personality is just like high strung. It's like your personality is like, um, I don't know. It just changed. It's like a character development by your, like, processing your own, like, psychological pain. Like, Scorpio, you know what I'm talking about. Like, at Scorpio rising knows what I'm talking about. Like, everything changes and everything becomes more of at peace and more understanding when you're able to go over these really intense experiences and help them develop on your character. And you also want to look for where Uranus is placed as well, because if you're a Scorpio rising with Uranus in the first or Uranus in the second, you definitely have to look at your, your values, your inner systems. What are you saying about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? How do you treat your body? All of these things, okay? And so that's all I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. If you found this video useful or helpful, please try to send it to someone else that can find it useful and helpful as well. I'll see you guys. Bye, Scorpio. Hey, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, you're gonna be having Uranus and Gemini going through your natal seventh house. And when we have Uranus going through the seventh house, this is the house of partnerships, business partnerships, exes, just one-on-one partner relationships. And these are individuals that are in your life right now. And so there can be this unexpected change to your partnerships, to your relationships. Maybe these conversations that need to have been had has been had. Maybe trying new different things. You guys are trying new different things. You guys are doing the unconventional. Like, you're really starting to explore new things about the partner, new things about yourself related to the partner. Like your whole traditional way of looking at relationships just shifts, you know. You now start to see people for who they are. They are unique individuals. I am a unique individual. I do not hold, I do not try to suppress or hold on to relationships. I let them flow, you know, I let them grow. And you're just like redefining what connection means to you. What does it mean for you to be connected to the next person, Sagittarius? What does partnership really mean? What does freedom really mean in partnerships, right? And like, what does being authentic with the next person actually mean? Does it just mean be yourself? Or did you like, what does it mean? I mean, this is your question, Sagittarius. And I really think that these like relationships that do come into your life, whether friendships, because this can be best friends as well. This can also be people that do not like you in this house as well, right? And then when we're talking about Gemini, we know that they're running their mouth about you too, right? And so you also want to make sure that whatever you're saying to your partner is thought about. You know what I'm saying? You're speaking from a place of freedom, right? You want them to be free. You want it to be free, but know that your ideas are changing, or it's one person ideas that's changing. It's not everyone idea that's changing, you know what I'm saying, in the relationship. And so there's conversations that must be had first before things can actually change. And I do think, as I said, because you're speaking from a place of like, this is my revolution, this is my life, I get to choose who I love, who I spend my time with. You want to make sure that you're not just like, you know, because the Uranus comes so fast in thoughts that it's like, it's now this understanding, you know what I'm saying? It's now this understanding. Now I can say it now. But we have to be mindful that we have to process this information. And, you know, with Uranus, it's just a sudden change. And so it can bring sudden change to the way that we view relationships, even when we're in one right now. And so, you know, that has to go through a whole transformation, a whole, you know, recollection. And that's why it's important for, you know, you to understand, or embracing freedom and embracing partnerships and redefining what true connection means to you can shift a lot of things that go on in the dynamic of the relationship, you know, bringing a more curious approach than a more dominating one, like a more like forceful one. Like you already know what needs to be done, but bringing a more curious one, like I just want to learn more. I just want to, let's learn about this together, partner. Okay, and that's all I have for you, Sagittarius, and I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. Hey, Capricorn. So Capricorn, Uranus and Gemini is going to be transiting your natal sixth house. And the sixth house is our house of health. It is a very vital part in our charts. You know, it's the disease that comes to the body, your mental health, you know. This is a very holistic house. And Uranus going into this house of daily routine, because this is also a house of daily routine. That's why it's so significant, because it's like, what do you do every day? And so any planets in the sixth house is very important, because it's like I daily feel this energy, right? And so as Uranus is transiting through this house, you will feel a lot of pressure, you know, from Uranus when it comes to like changing your daily activity, changing the things as you think about. Your own work environment changes, even your health changes like just quickly. You know what I'm saying? Yes, this is a time to watch out for like headaches and things of that nature. You can experience like new hobbies, new interests, new creative like endeavors. You wanting to work more with like your lungs, your voice, you know, as far as working, you know, you finding new passions when it comes to work, and embracing like spontaneity when it comes to like finding certain health practices, or finding ways to heal yourself, ways to like reflect upon yourself. Like you're just finding new passions and way to like experience joy, but through day-to-day practices like meditation, you know, or certain sciences, you know, like astrology, like numerology. A lot of, you know, artificial intelligence is going to come into your life. Even like unconventional relationships, you know, I won't say relationships, I will say like certain dynamics with like your bosses and things of that nature. You just prioritize like your wellness more, uh more more like your wellness becomes like daily practices each day, and you want to figure out ways that you can take care of your health uniquely. The sixth house is our healthy habits, and so you're like breaking free from the constructive ways of working, and you're trying to think of more flexible ways to work, more innovative ways to work. Instead of doing like what everyone else does, you are, building a more creative routine, like one that better suits you. As I said, like, getting up, like listening to your horoscope, pulling some tarot cards, or studying some science, or putting some study in your day, like reading a book or something like that. Capricorn, these are the type of things that can help your health tremendously. And I will say, as I said with Gemini, it's important for you to not to sleep near technology. Technology must be turned off and out of the way and out of your way. It must not be, you cannot sleep with it. Don't sleep with the phone under your pillow or anything like that. Computers, Wi-Fi, all off. And when you go to sleep, this is going to help your health like a lot. Um, and finding new ways to take care of your health, as I said, anything that you do that is holistic or that is promoting like this sense of curiosity, wanting to know more, wanting to do something about it. When you know more, you have to like spark that type of curiosity in you, and that's when the real healing begins. Otherwise, Uranus in the sixth can be very well, like very weighed down, because the sudden change, spontaneity, you know what I'm saying, things just suddenly happening, people just suddenly saying things to you at work, or you just suddenly having an attitude. And so it's important for you to like use these next couple of years to break away from the traditional routines of every day, what people do every day. Get up, do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Be more fun, be more creative, be more talkative. Have those conversations with yourself. Spark up those unconventional conversations at work. They need to be talking about it anyways. And so, yeah, so that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. Hey, Aquarius. Uranus and Gemini is going to be transiting your natal fifth house. And so, Aquarius, this is going to bring a lot of partners into your life, like a lot of romance, like partners, partnerships, even passion. Like your passion can change, your sense of joy changes, like the way that you express yourself changes. Like your inner child has this way of expressing yourself that you didn't see before. You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't witness it before, but now you're seeing how this is actually helping you. Like you're embracing your creativity. It almost is very exciting. It just brings this new stream of newness. This funness comes to you, like you're just being more curious about things that are going on around you. You're being more romantic, more spontaneous, more going after the partner, more letting these romances happen in your life. Letting people talk to you, spark up these new projects. This is beautiful. Like these new hobbies come to you. Maybe you're more competitive, maybe you start a new sport, maybe your children start a new sport, maybe they finally move out of the house. It all depends on where your Uranus is placed. But, Uranus being in Gemini, this can have your, because, Uranus is your ruler too, Aquarius. This can be like you as a person in your body, like the way that you talk about yourself just switches, it changes. It's like you now start to talk about yourself like, I am the best. Like you romanticize your own life. You romanticize your own self. Like you make people fall in love with you by the way that you're speaking about yourself. This is the time where you need to just embrace those fun things that happen just out of the ordinary. Just walking down the street and all of a sudden someone's like, hey, let's do something fun, and you're like, let's do it. And, you sometimes usually like, no, I'm not gonna do that, but this time you're like, let's do it, right? I think that this is going to be a really fun time for like Aquarius, but I will say, because Gemini has a flip side to it, you also have to use discernment, and you also have to use your mind. But Uranus is your ruler, and Uranus is going to be trining you, so this is going to be great. You know, yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Oh my gosh, how did I just stop talking? But yes, Uranus, Aquarius. This is gonna be great for you because Uranus is your ruler, and so however you speak about yourself and hype yourself up and romanticize yourself, that's how other people are going to see you. But you want to be careful that they're not just using you for your aura, like for your essence, for who you are as a person, like for your heart, because they can see that things that you say and the things that you talk about them, it's very advanced. You know what I'm saying? It's very like, I've never heard someone talk about this before, or they see you as someone they never, like you're sparking a change within them. That's this like eccentricness comes to you, you know. Yep. Yep, this newness comes to the body and it comes to the voice, and you're able to just talk yourself up. And I love this actually happening for you, Aquarius. Yep, I absolutely love this. Like, if you have any type of creative projects, I will suggest that you start them. Even like unconventional relationship, as I said, you definitely do use discernment, because unconventional relationships is the theme with Gemini. Everybody can get it. Everybody is like in it. And because this is a house of like romance and love and the heart, you want to be careful, Yeah, your heart is in it, but get the facts, you know what I'm saying? Get the facts. Get the facts. Like, what is it truly? Listening to the conversation, because Uranus is that planet of fresh and new change and innovation, and like just like this progression of development. Things can happen so fast that you're not even processing it's happening, Aquarius, if that makes sense, you know and later on down the line, that's when you start to process like the certain conversations that was had and things of that nature. So it's important for you, like I said, to just definitely pursue joy, pursue passion, pursue fun. But like, if you're gonna romanticize yourself, know that other people are gonna romanticize you too, and that's what they're gonna want from you. You know. Yeah, and so that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Pisces. Hey, Pisces. You're going to be having Uranus transiting your natal fourth house. And this is going to bring a lot of focus on like your inner landscape, your inner world, your emotions, your residency, most importantly, because there are going to be a lot of frequent change in where you live, changes in your home life, your family life, changes, like you just have this urge to like move, you have this urge to feel something else, like you have this urge to like relocate, like you have this urge to just like get on top of your living situation. You know what I'm saying? And this can really bring shifts to your family dynamic. This can bring shifts to your needs as well, because it's like you just need to feel something new, need something like fresh and exciting. And especially because this is a house of like your deep emotional landscape. And Pisces, you are a very intuitive sign, emotionally, you know, sensitive, like you're aware of your emotions and how you need to use them in order to manifest anything in this world. And Uranus is just bringing that sense of newness. Like, I want to feel love, like I want to feel love, I want to feel fun, I want to feel smart, because we're talking about Gemini. It's just, you want to find these new ways to evolve yourself, evolve your identity, evolve your needs, like evolve your emotions, and just evolve your environment. Most importantly, like, a lot of Pisces will move, but a lot of Pisces will switch jobs. A lot of Pisces can work, can find ways to work from home. This is really a alter on your environment, your living situation. in some type of way. There's some urgent change that happens, but it's like you want to change, Pisces. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have this urge to move somewhere, or you have this urge to like have conversations with different people, like, or you have this urge to feel something deeply that you have never felt before. But you know that can be very transformative. You know that it can spark some type of something within you. You know what I'm saying? And Uranus in the fourth house is like, ugh, like no one wants Uranus in the fourth house. I mean, I will say that when Uranus is in the fourth house for you, Pisces, it's like, you don't even know how you feel, because Gemini is like switching back and forth. Like, you don't really know how you feel. It's changed so suddenly. One day you want this, next day you want that. But you know that there is this like urge to do something different around this time. And I will say that with Uranus in the fourth, I think that the urge around this whole dynamic is to just reflect on your evolving self, reflect on how you evolve, like how your identity is evolving, reflect on how the experiences that you've had, the memories that you have had, because Uranus can bring like these memories, because the mind, all of these, like, remembering conversations with other people, remembering them, remembering your thought forms, your brothers, your sisters, your early childhood. This can bring like arguments within your own mind, within your own makeup, or your own mental space. Uranus in the fourth is not the best like type of transit to have, because I do think that it brings a lot of like just like sudden like sparks of like emotion, but like severe emotion. You know what I'm saying? These like severe emotional, but thank goodness that it's Gemini, Pisces, because Gemini is not like that. It's severe, but definitely when it comes to communication, it's gonna shut the person down with their emotions. So I do feel like a lot of Pisces can have, when their emotions are triggered, now they're not crying in the corner. Now they're about to hit you with some mess. Like, they're about to hit you with some mess. They're about to hit you with some spontaneity. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have leveled up. A lot of Pisces has leveled up, especially with Saturn going to the first house. But now they're having, Jupiter in their communication, and Gemini and Uranus in their communication. It's like they're not taking the ish anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're not letting you just start saying whatever you want to dirty their water. Pisces are really starting to create their backbone, and there's going to be a lot of like unexpected beginnings, unexpected feelings, unexpected thoughts, memories, so many different things. But I do think at the end of this transit, Pisces, you will create a home, like you will create a place for yourself, and you will be more grateful for the environment that you do have. I will say that you will be grateful for the people that you do have in your life, and the conversations that you do have with other people, even if you're not like, even if there's so much back and forth with Pisces, where they want to live, and where they want to be, you know and yeah, especially with Jupiter being in there as well. And I feel like at the end of this transit, you will start to see like everywhere is your home. You can live anywhere, and it's really about you just evolving, your identity with this transit, or evolving your sense of emotional like entanglement. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so that's all I have for you, Pisces. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys on the next video. If you found this video useful, definitely trying to send it to someone that may find it useful as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Pisces.